All right, another game involving a college football playoff contender. Let's go out west. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish head to the Coliseum to take on the USC Trojans. Notre Dame's got their hands full. There's no doubt. This offense for USC, we all know what Caleb Williams has been. We all know what Jordan Addison's been. We all know what all these different weapons are and just how good this offense has been all season long. They've scored 40-plus points in 5 consecutive games. It's the longest streak since 2003 and the second longest streak in program history. You all remember who's on that 2003 USC team, right? Yeah. If you need to look it up, go for it. But it'll put things in perspective. This group is pretty dang good. All right, Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison are, of course, kind of the straw that stirs the drink. Addison's been back and been really good these last couple of weeks. He was a little bit injured, but they're not the only ones. Remember, this is a team that was 4-8 a year ago and have now gone to the portal. They've added 19 players from the portal this offseason. That was tied for the 6th most among Power 5 schools. Notre Dame added just 4 players, by the way, if you want to use the differences between the two teams. I think the biggest thing in this game, Caleb Williams, can he continue to go at a Heisman-type level? He's going up against a defense that has been really good. Remember, the first couple games, not so great defensively when you look at where they were at. But these last couple games, really the last 9, defensively for Notre Dame, been much, much better. I think this is going to be a fascinating game in so many different ways. USC, high flying, very, very good through the year, very, very good offensively, have tremendous weapons, tremendous potential, and shoot, I thought they were going to be in some trouble when they lost Travis Dye. What I didn't know is that you were going to have a guy like Jones, like Austin Jones, just step up and there'd be no drop-off whatsoever. And look at just the performance against UCLA last week. I mean, shoot, man, 120 yards against UCLA. That's the most in the game for Austin Jones in the last couple of years. So he's hitting his stride at the right time. I think SC, if I'm playing against SC, I want to make this an absolute slugfest. So if I'm Notre Dame, I'm going to lean into the physicality that I used earlier in the season against Ohio State. My game plan is exactly like the plan I used against Ohio State. Granted, that was week 1. And you're going to say, well, that was a long time ago, and it's, really Notre Dame wasn't that great those first couple games anyways. Remember, they only scored 15 points a game. Yep, I understand that very much. But look at where Notre Dame is now. Notre Dame has completely shifted and have become a team that has a very well-established identity. You know that when you're playing the Irish, it's going to be a 4-quarter slugfest, a heavyweight battle, where if you can't match them with their physicality, you're in legitimate problems. You got some issues. Now, I do think Notre Dame is somewhat susceptible through the air. Doesn't mean that they are bad in the secondary. I just think if I'm going to find my space, it's going to be through the air. Because in the front 7 defensively, whether it be Foskey, whether it be 3 outstanding linebackers there for the Irish, I don't like being able to just run it down their throat. It ain't going to happen. So you're going to have to find matchups and opportunities for Jordan Addison, move him around. Shoot, put him in the backfield like you did last week for the touchdown. Move him around and feature him, because with how much man coverage Notre Dame plays, finding favorable looks for him is going to be of the utmost importance. As far as Notre Dame's offense is concerned, I think it is a steady dose of keep away. When you look at Notre Dame's offense, you know that they are not going to be a group that wants to get in a shootout. They don't. Their wide receivers have been somewhat unimpressive this year relative to what our expectation levels were coming into the season. What we do know is they have an elite tight end, Michael Mayer. Find matchups for him, find looks for him, allow yourself to be very physical in the run game, because that's your calling card. You have 3 outstanding backs, whether it be Tyree, who is your home run hitter. I'd get him out in space, get him at least 10 touches if humanly possible. Whether it's Diggs, who's become a little bit more of the, you kind of churn it out. Diggs is great. I love Diggs. I think Diggs is really, really good. He's very well rounded, but that's kind of, he doesn't really do anything poorly, but he isn't super elite at anything. You got Tyree, who's an elite home run hitter. You have Diggs, who's extremely versatile and well rounded. And then you have Audric Estime, who's your downhill thumper. I like Estime in this game. That's the back I'd lead with because I want to make USC feel it. And if they can't match you physically, then you have a chance to potentially shorten the game, extend your possessions, and see if they can ramp it up. Estime, give me a 230-pound back. That's a message sender. He's the guy I'd feature in this game. And then finally, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. How risky does Tommy Rees want to get? Because if you look at USC, they did it last week. They've done it all season long. This team is a team that thrives on turnovers. One of the very best in college football. Forcing them, but they also do an amazing job of taking care of the football in their own right. They have a plus 20 turnover margin this season. That's the best in the world. That includes the NFL, because I can promise you there's no one up there that's plus 20. All right. USC has picked off 18 passes. That's the most in the FBS, and it's most in a season since 2012. So they still have another game to go. So the fact that they're averaging 18 picks, that's over a pick and a half a game. We're talking about being really smart with how much you let Drew Pine do in the game. As crazy as this sounds, I lean ever so slightly towards the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I think this game could become a game in which they can impose their will at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be up for USC to match them physically. You know me, if you've listened to this show, and I've gotten got because of this theory and this mindset all season long. I've gotten got several times, by the way. I always like the more physical team in a game like this. Give me the team that has nothing to lose. Give me a team that has every opportunity to play the spoiler, and give me the team that is more physical every single day of the week. I like Notre Dame to get it done in dramatic fashion on the road against their bitter arch rival, the USC Trojans.